about RFID chips, which are pretty much microchips that they implant into your skin. So it holds all of your medical information and regular information like your driver's license, social security number, and things like that. And they first made this in 1998, and they implanted it into a scientist, Kevin Warwick, and pretty much they wanted it to open doors and control lights and make his life a whole lot easier, so he wouldn't have to carry around keys and his home keys. And ever since that experiment in 2004, after several years of testing, 80 hospitals and over 200 doctors started to use it. And even though it makes our life easier, I still think that it would cause problems in our life. Which brings me to that implanting these chips can cause stolen identities, like credit cards can do when you use them on the internet. Because these chips are completely encrypted, so that means they're very vulnerable to interception by third-party scanners, like hackers and other people who would like to steal your information. And they like to clone signals, so like credit cards, they can steal your information and buy all these things and use your insurance information so they can help other friends that don't have insurance. And they also use your medical files, so they can witch your allergies, which is really bad because it causes injury, and I would know because I'm allergic to everything. And Dr. Ian Kerr, who is a scientist in Alberta, said that what we have to worry about are the same kinds of problems we're currently having on the internet with credit cards and identity theft. And the FDA said that the chip could cause infection, allergies, and if the chip is implanted improperly, that it can dislodge and move to a different part of the body. Also, they said that strong magnets like MRIs for X-rays and such could cause the chip to burn your skin on the inside and the outside. So, yeah. And veterinary and toxicology studies from 1996 to 2006 implanted the chips into mice, and most of the mice developed subcutaneous sarcomas, which are tumors, and 10% of the mice that developed sarcomas developed malignant cancers, which are lethal. And that's why I think that implanting GPS would cause more problems in our lives than solve problems.
All right, well, you've identified what the topic is, and you've given us a little bit of an introduction to it. I'm not exactly sure that anybody is suggesting that we do this on a wide scale. Right now, we've got, 50 hospitals and 200 doctors who have done this. Until you've got some examples of places that want to adapt this or utilize this on a regular basis, I think we're just talking about something that's very hypothetical. By the way, one of the things that immediately came to mind is, okay, well, we did this study on the mice. What was the study with the 200 doctors? How many of them developed subcutaneous sarcomas and got sick as a consequence? The FDA says that there's a chance of infection or misplacement. Did we have any of that in the 200 doctors that underwent this particular procedure? And if we're going to draw analogies to animals, how about the chips that pets get? Do they run into the same kinds of problems? I thought that would be something that might be an appropriate comparison to be making. I think you plunge into this topic and you just start giving us a whole bunch of hypotheticals without giving us a very clear structure of what the arguments are, even though the arguments are actually pretty simple. One, that there is a security risk if we went to this type of identification system. Two, that there are physical health risks that people would be faced with these particular kinds of security systems. So why don't you just structure it that way? Instead, you kind of plunge in and give us the hypotheticals and talk about what the possibilities are, and I didn't really see much of a structure. I did hear a few pieces of information, like the factual data about the doctors who've had these procedures done, and the FDA's opinion on this particular subject, so there was some data on those points. But again, we're very dependent on hypothetical conditions here. Why is the skin chip, for instance, subcutaneous identification or the RFID, likely to be easily cloned by a third-party scanner? What's the degree of presence that would be necessary? How would it have to happen? That, I think, you need a little bit more explanation on if that's going to be the main issue on that first point. All right, thank you.